Hi, everybody. Thanks for showing up with me. I'm Fettuccine. Welcome to the new vlog style stuff that I'm trying to do. Oh God, I'm so sorry for that wobble. Still figuring out this whole new camera setup. It's another day where I'm hanging out with Ace, who's currently upstairs sulking. I guess sulking is the right word. He's just upset. He's very saddened. I think he thinks that he's, oh God, how do I put this? I think he perceives me as being mad at him because he got into my room while I was away at work and tore up some stuff that he shouldn't have been. And I am a little upset because it means I have to clean it up and all that stuff. But it's just like, it's okay, man. It happens. You do your best. That's all you can do. So, but yeah, this is the new newness. It I this is looks totally different to me in like the best way. So I'm really excited to like try this out a little bit more. I'm also excited to see what it sounds like in post as well. Um, but welcome to the vlog. Well, thanks for showing up with me. I'm Fen. I got a new phone, obviously. The S21 Ultra. I'm excited about it. So this is me currently using it along with my DJI OM4 gimbal mount. And I think with this, my whole editing or recording setup is going to change a little bit. I'm not sure quite how yet. Um, I just know that I'd love to do some more with this in a very much more like recording capacity. Um, a lot of my own test videos that I've done with the DJI software has been kind of like hit and miss on actually like using it. Like I'd love to use it if I had a need for the active track, but when it's just holding it to keep it more steady, it's just as good to just use my personal, like just the actual camera app. I think it looks a little bit cleaner just to use it that way. Um, I did some adjusting to the setup and how it works, so hopefully it turns out okay and looks good. Obviously, we'll find out here in a second when I go to do the editing and the uploading. But yeah, so new phone, new setup, a bit of a mix of things that I've been wanting to use for a while, which I'm excited about. Didn't get to running this morning. I know I talked about doing that yesterday. Just time got away from me, and I was making sure that Ace could get into as little as possible, which he ended up getting into because he broke into my room, which that's its own bag of nails that I have to figure out what I want to do with it. Oh, sorry, I hit the arrow and I didn't mean to. Pardon me. Um, but I think outside of that, it was been a pretty slow morning. It was actually one of the more earlier mornings where I was like awake at a reasonable hour, and I just kind of existed. I took care of Ace and spent time around the house just being, which I think was actually really good. I got to change over the laundry here after I get done with this, edit it, upload it, all that jazz. Man, I gotta figure out what I'm doing with this DJI. I don't use this enough yet to fully have the handle of the facilities of everything I need to do with it. I just know that it looks great, and it looks like all the shaking that I'm doing as a human being does not really come across as well. Um, Other than that, I know I'm recording in 60 frames a second now on this front camera, which is wild to me because it is 60 frames a second, and I'm hoping the file size isn't god awful, so transferring the files won't take forever. Because part of what I wanted to do when I was updating all this is one day I'll figure this out. What I wanted to do as I was recording or figuring out the new kind of workflow for recording and updating my showing up stuff is, do I want to like edit and still on my phone? Do I want to use a laptop, which I think is what I want to go to? Is swap over to a like dedicated laptop and use that, which I have one that I can use. I think I have to double check. I have to look. I have to see whether or not it actually works the way I want it to, or if it's something I should try to keep doing on my phone, because it seems to work pretty well on my phone. I just haven't gotten to be able to figure out how I want to do it with the new workflow. I say workflow, how I want to edit my videos, how I want to edit them. Do I want to edit them on my phone? Do I want to edit them on that? I'm rambling on, reiterating the same point. But in my efforts to try to figure that one out, it was a lot of trial, Like, what do I want to do? I love the fact that it's now 60 frames a second. Also, it's 120 on the back cameras. This is the front camera. I'm doing the selfie camera right now. On the back cameras, maybe I'll show some sweet, like, slow-mo B-roll that I can fucking manage. Overlay this part. Oh, God, okay, cool. Let's update the quality. Let's make this a ridiculous video. And just, like, it apparently does some pretty sick, like, quality. Like, I think I chose this because it was another, I skipped a generation as I generally do, and that's how I've been, utilizing my phone for the past, I don't know, 6-7 years. It's how I've, upgraded my smartphone, and I always kind of I want to go for like the best, so that way it lasts longer if I don't want to upgrade. And when this one came up, the big thing that pushed me on this one was that the fact that my replacement phone that I got, my first one was broken, wasn't even as good as the original phone I had, and that's what kind of pushed me to actually go ahead and upgrade to the S21. And because it was just frustrating to work with on a lot of levels, and like you try to listen to something and it wouldn't, like, there was no bass, there's no good sounding, so I just kind of had to wing it with all of the editing I was doing up until now, and I was just like, it looks good, hopefully it sounds good, and then I'd go back and listen to it on my phone or like on a break at work, and just give it a listen and be like, oh, okay, cool, it sounds okay, and like I'd play it through my car speakers or my stereo speakers and listen to it that way. So there's definitely options there on how that works. But I think hopefully, and that's what pushed me to upgrade. And I was like, I'll just go with the latest and greatest. And I heard a lot of good things about the S21, and so far they seem to be holding up. I always get an additional case to put my phone in, even though you don't really need to these days. You can just put like a nice, like, skin on the back of it and call it a day because of how good the actual internal protection generally is. I'm a person that is OCD about all of that because I've grown up. I grew up as a very, not careless, but I was a very destructive person. Not by, it was just kind of how I grew up, and it's kind of how it was, how I handled, aggression and anxiety and frustration. And as I'm getting older, I'm getting better about it, but it's something that I still fear will come out of me because of how ingrained it is. And so that's why I always keep a case on it, except for when I'm using like the DJI, the OM4, or like I'm doing something else with it that requires it to not have its case on it. Like I have a Razer something or other. It's a phone controller, so I can play like Google Stadia or Game Pass games on my phone if I want to, if I have time to kill. But I do that, and I'd just kind of, if I ever do that, I have to take my case off, but I have a case for it because I worry about that in general. I also like to protect it more than a baseline is, even though it's usually fine. It's water resistant up to like 5 meters, something like that. Crazy water resistance, crazy cool things. Yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I like it. I love the new vlog stuff. This is the new look. Hopefully I'll take some sweet buttery B-roll, as Peter McKinnon calls it. But thank you all for watching. I'll see you all on Monday. Maybe I'll do a sharing a drink over the weekend. Talk about the weekend in general and stuff like that. And hopefully, maybe you'll start seeing more TikToks out of me if you want to go check out my TikTok page. But yeah, thank you all for showing up with me. I've been fun. You've been watching me. If you want to ask me something that you want me to talk about, you can go ahead and give me a good old-fashioned comment and let me know what you think about today's episode, what you'd like to hear from me in the future. If you guys want to talk about something in specific, I've got a plethora of knowledge about a variety of things, so fire away. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you aren't, like if you aren't, all those things that you chill out at the end of an episode for. And I will see you all on Monday. Bye, y'all.